And with the Chief Minister, more on our Friday briefing. You must have sat down with the television on as like everybody else and watched the UK budget. Were you surprised when the name check of the Isle of Man came out?
Well, I'm very pleased that they've identified that the Isle of Man actually has made, or given the leadership really, that they were looking for from the Crown Dependencies.
Yes, you led, didn't you?
We very much have. And of course, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were in London meeting a number of ministers and key people and raised the belief that we should get some recognition for the work we've done in delivering this particular strategy. So yes, it was reassuring to know that we did get some recognition for it.
I'm betting behind the scenes, Jersey were there just by the skin of their teeth to get that agreement in place, or the possibility of it, because they weren't on the horizon initially.
And I know initially when we did announce that we were going to commit to FATCA, there was a lot of concern amongst the business community that the Isle of Man had gone first, that we were out on a limb, and that would leave them at a business disadvantage to our competitors. I said then that I believed absolutely that the other Crown dependencies and overseas territories would follow the Isle of Man. Guernsey did last weekend. They've made their announcement. Jersey, interesting piece of timing, made the announcement on the same morning as the budget, and there could well be a reason for the need to keep below the radar on this one. But the other thing that has also been forgotten, of course, is that Cayman last weekend has also committed to a US FATCA and negotiating a UK FATCA. So those people who were concerned about the competitive disadvantage really had those concerns allayed now, I think, and it's quite clear we are, as we predicted, all going to be on exactly the same level in terms of this relationship.
I know Eddie Tiers pointed out why you can't do it, but it does seem strange that you have to do your budget before the UK budget, and then you have to then work out where the plugs are, plug that gap, because you lost a penny on the pint of booze, you haven't got the fuel hike that's going to come up. That must cause problems.
Yes, I mean, obviously, with so many of our source of income being dictated by the UK, VAT changes, as you say, the duties, various other bits and pieces, we're very dependent on what the UK budget announces. So as the system is today, we have to guess in some ways. They're informed guesses, but we have to guess nevertheless where the UK might be going. This time, of course, we built in the fuel increase based on the comments made by the Chancellor in the past. As it happens, he's turned around this time and said, no, he's not going to go ahead with it after all. So we have to adjust our budget accordingly. So it does give us some problems, but it's not a major issue.
So overall, you didn't drop your cup of tea or your biscuit into your tea when the budget went out? You were quite relaxed, were you?
I think so. I mean, most of what was in the budget was expected. I don't think there were any great surprises in there. The Chancellor has very little room for manoeuvre. It's more or less tinkering.
But the corporation tax coming down again. I know we haven't got it here, but they've got the lowest in the their area of Europe or something. They keep telling everyone now. Yeah. They keep chipping away, trying to keep more money on shore, don't they?
They're trying to bring it down to 20%. And George Osborne's ambition is to make the UK the most competitive country in the Western world in terms of corporate tax. And that's fine. It is a mechanism for stimulating new economic development in the UK. But it also vindicates the Isle of Man's position in insisting that our right to impose the zero rate of corporate tax, which we have had now for a number of years, is absolute. And the UK cannot criticise us for wanting to have a competitive tax rate when the UK are doing exactly the same. The hope, I think, is, though, that if the UK tax changes work, and it does ultimately lead to more growth in the UK economy, that indirectly should help us as well, because a strong Manx economy is very much dependent on having a strong UK economy around it. So if it does pay off, it should have some indirect benefit for us as well.